Follow the money.
That's what I always say. You always follow the money.
Yeah.
This is Follow the Money with Mitch Moss and Pauly Howard on VSiN.
Here we go. It is Follow the Money on VSiN, the sports betting network. Mitch Moss, Pauly Howard with you live in downtown Vegas from the Circa Resort and Casino. Love Wednesdays, loaded 3-hour program coming up. Sal Paolantonio, his weekly spot in an hour. What's wrong with the champs? We're in week 14 here, guys. Not going to figure this out. Mike Palm in studio. We'll talk college football with him. You could not be serious. Stanford Steve on the show later on. Matt Humans today on the program. The best and worst teams ATS in the NFL. College football as the regular season is over with. We get championship weekend coming up. And one more committee show to go. That'll be on Sunday. And we had another doozy last night. And look, I bet, and I talked about the angle on the program yesterday, why I think Miami is live. Unless this is like close to professional wrestling, I think based on what they were saying last night, and we'll unpack all of it, I think Miami has more than a pulse here.
Bad read by DraftKings, I felt, to move them up to 9-10-1.
They weren't the only ones.
That's right. That's right. So I agree with a lot of these people that if BYU loses, then it's right there. 10-11. They played head-to-head, and then the committee was asked about it. Number one, great job by Reese Davis. He was asked about the haze in the barn. These teams don't play any more games. Is this it? He goes, no, we'll talk to you Sunday. He'll take that as Miami's got a shot, and he's right. And then he was asked about it when he meets with the media after Reese Davis and said, I don't know why it's taken so long, but it's going to be a different ball game and scenario if they're back-to-back, and then Miami has the head-to-head.
Remember a couple of weeks back when they said they're not even having the conversation right now about the head-to-head because Notre Dame was in one pod up here, and then in the pod below them, that's where Miami was. And until Miami kind of reached up and got to that tier or that same pod as Notre Dame, they were not even going to have the conversation. Well, now you're exactly right. On the conference call that the committee chairman did afterwards with the entire media, whoever is involved with that phone call from all over the country, he said that it's, quote, easier to use head-to-head that win as a data point if the teams are, in fact, back-to-back in the standings. Nicole Auerbach, who is great on college sports, added this, quote, we're not comparing Notre Dame and Miami side by side. Says the grouping has mostly been Alabama, Notre Dame, BYU, and Miami, so that one head-to-head result is one of multiple factors at play. Now, you're exactly right. What happens, and they're a huge dog coming up, BYU, if they lose, the path is so simple right here that it's going to be Notre Dame and Miami back-to-back in the standings. And is that when they say, yeah, look, I mean, now they're in the same pod. They're right next to each other. We got to put Miami because they're head-to-head.
A guy reached out who I respect a lot, said, grab all the Miami. Yes, you can. He says they are going to do this if BYU loses. They are taking Miami over Notre Dame.
So that's it. If BYU loses, does Alabama come into play at all? What if Alabama gets blown out of the SEC title game? They're still in, right, though?
What are we talking?
40-10? Yeah, it's 41-17, never close.
They have the worst loss.
They do.
It's a horrible loss to Florida State.
Mm-hmm.
That's quite the conundrum. I don't think that would be hilarious after what happened last year, too. But that would be a tough call if Alabama's boat raced. I still say Alabama's in.
So I looked right away last night as the committee was doing their show, and as soon as they announced it, I noticed, it was Caesars, they went to 9-1. I was getting tweets saying, hey, I know that you bet at 550 at the end of the show. DK's at 10. Other books are around that same number. It's worth grabbing again. It took me a minute to come around and see all the tweets, but as I was shopping around, they moved it back to like plus 550 or 6-1, and I still think it's worth it based on what they said last night.
Yeah.
And unless, again, this is all nonsense.
Well, you called this, though. This is going to be TCU Baylor Part 2. Because
I think
the other people making why are they waiting so long? Why not just do it then? The comeback is it's a TV show. Why do they do it twice in a week? Why not just, hey, we'll talk to you Sunday. Why are we even doing this on Tuesday? Mm-hmm. As you said earlier, when I was with Megabucks, I used to watch Jersey Shore, and one time she walked by and goes, what are you doing? What are you watching? I can't believe you watched that. And finally, looking back, I couldn't believe I watched it either. But just watching this crap every single week and the nonsense they talk about and speak. How do you sit, if you want to, Alabama should be ahead of Notre Dame. You can't even compare the resumes. Notre Dame has one good win. But if you're going to come out and say why we're going to move Alabama ahead of Notre Dame, do it because A&M got boat raced by Texas, and suddenly that looks worse for Notre Dame. Don't tell me they beat Auburn in a rivalry game and went for it, a gutsy call to go up 7. You sound like a buffoon. Kentucky won at Auburn.
Yes, they
did.
did.
What do you mean that's a good win? They are just so infatuated with these rivalry games, and then they're trying to explain. Just say A&M got beat pretty badly, got beat up by Texas. Yeah. Therefore, it knocks Notre Dame down. Oh, by the way, it's not even close when you compare the resumes. Do that.
And by the way, outside of a couple of the big boy rivalry matchups, they've kind of taken a wrecking ball to them across the country anyway. So you don't really care about the rivalries other than Alabama, Auburn, and Michigan, Ohio State for the most part. And, you blew up the conferences anyway where they're going to play each other. So let's stop kidding around here and acting like that's such a big deal when at the end of the day, all you care about is more money anyway. And then great tweet from Covers last night.
Yes.
When you look at Miami overall, of course, they got the head-to-head. They have the same record. They have more top 10 wins. They have an equal SOS to Notre Dame. They have an equal strength of record, and they beat 3 or 4 common opponents by more than what Notre Dame did.
Yes.
Doesn't that mean anything?
This is absolutely ridiculous.
Right.
This is absurd.
Now, what?
It would be an all-time injustice if they would do this on Sunday.
Well, here's the thing now.
Notre Dame is also out if BYU wins.
Yeah, can you imagine? Okay, let's say that doesn't happen and BYU gets killed. Can you imagine then on Sunday they do the committee show and then, oh, look at this, end of the day, Notre Dame's going to be ahead of Miami, and then they're just going to get peppered with, well, what's all that head-to-head talk last week when they're back-to-back in the rankings? Well, we had a couple of more days to evaluate, and Notre Dame. It's like again, this is just they're lying and stringing people along the entire time. As Bruce, I love that Bill 80 here at VSiN put this in the daily newsletter today.
Yes.
He put Bruce Feldman's tweet in, and he's like, Bill actually added, thank God, I guess we can't swear on the air. Correct. But Feldman tweeted, and he's like, this is so bleeping stupid. They just keep making it up as they go along. It's like the college committee is going out of its way to show the sport it's run by morons. That's 100% spot on.
Yep.
And I can't even imagine now, after they're setting it up, here it is, on a platter, after what we just told you last night, and if BYU loses, we stuck with it, Notre Dame's going to be, they're going to get absolutely destroyed by everybody.
Yeah.
Why'd you say that on Tuesday night then?
Yeah,
you lied.
Yep. And even if Notre Dame's ahead of them, it goes back to why even play the games and why even schedule these tough non-conference games as well. Two outs for him also. Did you notice Texas jumped ahead of Vandy?
Yeah.
Head-to-head. Hello. Head-to-head. That finally came into play. And the other one, here's another easy out for him. If UNLV beats Boise, again, the Notre Dame resume stinks. And if Boise loses to UNLV, that's another knock on Notre Dame's resume, that you beat USC, that's it. All these other teams have 2 or 3 wins.
Yep. There was a great tweet last night from somebody who went back and documented all of the head-to-heads over the last 2 or 3 years.
Yes.
And at the end of the year, every single head-to-head eventually mattered in the ratings. Every one of them, without fail. This would be the one outlier if they don't change it with Notre Dame and Miami. So there's also that.
That's right. And the brand name bias. Hopefully it doesn't win out. Common sense prevails. Also, James Madison is in a win and in. No Duke. Assuming that would be if Duke beats Virginia. And
Manny Diaz was making the case today on a podcast, a very popular college football podcast, that if Duke wins, they're in.
They're going to appear in the top 25?
That's what he said.
Because it's a quality win?
Mm-hmm.
Did he have inside information? Okay. Maybe we could reach out to Brett McMurphy for that one. And the other one is I'm on Kalshi. Looking at these odds, you can bet on every single seed and what could happen. This is wild about who's going to be the 10 with Notre Dame, Alabama, and you can bet on all these seeds as well, what this could be and how this could fall. But there was one here where I just think Texas Tech to get the 4, I think it is worth a bet. The exact seed.
Oh, by the way, can't they get? I see that angle. Why can't Texas Tech, though, get the 2 seed?
Interesting.
If Bama beats Georgia,
they'd have to be blowouts, don't you think?
Well, Texas Tech could beat BYU by 100.
Yeah.
And then, no, I don't think so. I think if Alabama beats Georgia by a field goal, Texas Tech should be ahead of Georgia.
Okay.
But I could be dead wrong on that.
Yeah.
Also, I talked to somebody who was very close to this situation for 3 or 4 years. And he was involved in media with college football regular season and the playoffs yesterday, and he told me you would not believe how much stock the committee puts into losses more than anything else. Meaning, and that's why that Notre Dame was ahead of Miami, obviously. They loved their losses against those two teams, and they were late. They were not blowouts. And when a team has a bad loss, like Texas has a really bad loss in Florida, the reason why Texas is not going to make it is because they lost to Ohio State. It's because they lost to Florida.
Right.
And the committee looks at it as if you can't beat a team like Florida, or if you have a blowout loss on your resume, they don't want you in the playoff with a chance to embarrass yourself. My comeback would be blowouts happen all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Look at the Clemson-Alabama national title game a handful of years ago.
Yeah.
Game was over with at halftime. And Alabama was, that was the two a year. One of the 2 years. Got absolutely destroyed in that game. Look at the LSU game against Clemson the next year. That LSU team, nobody was going to touch that team that year.
Well, you remember, and Brett McMurphy had the exclusive last year, but before the even show hit the air, SMU in, Alabama out.
That's right.
So there's more leaks than the Iraqi Navy in there. So I just think that it's going to come out, and also these people know what they're talking about, that Miami is definitely live, and they are convinced that when it's side by side, and it's going to be 10 against 11, and 11 beat 10, if that's a Texas Tech win, that they're going to take Miami, and it's worth the 6 to 7 to 1 and gobble it up.
Let's follow the money here on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network. Up next, we'll dive into the NFL. Coming up, I'm still wondering how this team is favored in the NFL. We'll talk about that and other games next.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
I will get to the game in the NFL coming up here in a couple of minutes. I'm surprised this team is still favored, but the game tomorrow night is so good. We've been labeling this a loser leaves town match now going all the way back to last Friday. I'm all in on Dallas here, plus the points. Took them plus 3.5. I know it opened the look-ahead line last week with 6. I also have plus 145 money line in pocket here. The total is 54.5. You're super excited here about all these player props because of that total, and if guys are going to be, getting into the end zone quite a bit, some of the parlays that could cash here.
Absolutely, and more of the stuff will come out tomorrow. But this is with a total like this, and how bad the Detroit defense has been. Not to mention this could be like the Cincinnati-Pittsburgh game with the tight ends. I think it could be a lot of guys, and a lot of anytime touchdown, big numbers, could get there as well. Each team, touchdown and field goal each half, 10 to 1. Field goal each quarter, 6 to 1. This isn't crazy. Each team has a rushing and a passing touchdown each half, 50 to 1 at Caesars. Got a total of 55.
Well, that'd go over the total on its own if they make all the extra points.
With two good quarterbacks and with a lot of firepower out there as well. Now, also what hurts Detroit is that how bad the defense has been and no pass rush. Joseph out, Raymond out. Sewell questionable. St. Brown game time decision. You also just picked up Hayden Rucci from Miami. He's going to start at tight end. 22 to 1 anytime touchdown. Let's go back to what happened when they played Dallas the last time. You've been all over this. They went deep in their bag of tricks. Oh. The offensive linemen, the razzle-dazzle, all the tricks. Still pissed off about what happened on that Saturday night. And who's to say Dallas has got 3 guys that could score with the tight end position? I mean, who's to say that Campbell won't do stuff with the creativity? And also, it's the Detroit Lions, and I'm getting their starting tight end at 22 to 1 anytime touchdown. I got to take that.
Yeah, I don't blame you for that. Now, Amon-Ra St. Brown is one of many players for Detroit questionable for the game tomorrow night. Obviously, you lose him. That's a big blow. A ton of guys are questionable. 4 different guys are out as we speak. And have you come around yet to betting Dallas at all, just straight up in the game?
Yeah, I'm there. Sure.
Yeah, they
Absolutely.
are. Yeah, they're in better. I mean, recent form here. Well, they're clearly the team.
Well, especially if they don't have St. Brown can't go. That's big. And I don't even mind. And you're going to love this. How about Brevin Spann-Ford, the third string tight end for the Cowboys at 10 to 1? He's had a touchdown against the Eagles. They love him. He's the second biggest thing to come out of St. Cloud, Minnesota. And my aunt used to babysit him. I watched him for like 5 minutes one time.
Your aunt used to babysit him?
Yeah, absolutely. 10 to 1. He scored against the Eagles.
Yeah, that's right. I think that was one of Kramer's specials earlier this year. He gave him out anytime, or first touchdown, I think.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Third string, huh?
I mean, how many times are we going to get inside the 5-yard line, and it's just the creativity and the weapons, and how many different guys could factor in here with a score?
What if George Pickens goes nuts in this game? Could he somehow steal Offensive Player of the Year? I don't know if the overall.
No.
His yards are awesome. He's not one of the,
JSN would really have to fall off.
He would. Jonathan Taylor is currently falling off.
Correct.
A couple of weeks in a row now. Very tough schedule. No? Okay. Adam Chernoff came on the program yesterday. Unfortunately, his appearance was cut short because of some bad internet. He's in South America right now. But he had a lot to get into, including this. I remember when Adam was on in previous years with us. He's a longtime friend of the show. Very good on the NFL. He would point out that watch these teams that are on the bubble for the playoffs and how aggressive they get. And he sent me a long message yesterday saying it's that time of year. It's tough to fully quantify. But weeks like 13, 14, all the way through 16, 17, have these teams playing for everything. And the second halves get desperate and the aggression kicks up. And he has Dallas, Detroit, Cincinnati, Buffalo qualifying this week, where even though it's a high total, you're going to see these teams break out every imaginable stop because the games, it's like they need these games like blood. And, the scoring could absolutely be there. Maybe it's a second half overplay if the game trends a little bit lower in the first half.
Well, not every Dallas first half has gone over but one as well. You're also paying a tax with Jamison Williams. I mean, he's sitting there at high 80s with his receiving yards. But if
that almost tells me that Brown's not going to play.
Yeah, I know. If St. Brown doesn't go, Tom Kennedy, what? Some of these guys he's
throwing
to.
Last week?
Tom Kennedy made it. Right, not bad. But the other angle I have is Dallas is going to bring the heat. Goff can't move, and then if Goff panics, dump off. I think you have to look at Montgomery and also Gibbs with the receiving yards and receptions over in this one. Yeah, especially if you don't have St. Brown.
But will those guys be able to run the football with this offensive line that is not in great shape?
No.
Against this suddenly emerging defensive front for the Cowboys?
No, it's real. Can't run the ball on them. Nope.
Gibbs is so good he might break one, but I'm right there with you pretty much.
It could also be a replay of the Sunday night game where he could, I think he's like 25-1 most receiving yards. He could house something for 70 yards. Yeah. He's so damn fast. And that could be the game plan, too. You also got to throw screens to slow down that pass rush.
Yeah, Dallas has probably the best offense in football as we speak, current form. And the Detroit Lions are absolutely as desperate as any team in the league. So it makes for a hell of a game tomorrow night. And I do kind of think what I said yesterday, and you brought it up there, if I'm a Dallas Cowboy, I circle this game when the schedule comes out, right? If you go all the way back to March, they're like, yep, they came to our stadium, they were off the bye, and they absolutely embarrassed us 47-9. I can't wait to play them again. Yep. When is it? Oh, it's Thursday night, national TV. Beautiful. We're going to get our revenge.
Yeah. You got one team limping in, the other team's on fire after what they just did to the Super Bowl teams that played in the Super Bowl the last two games. Very impressive.
I love Dan Campbell, the head coach. I do not love Dan Campbell, the play caller.
That's fair.
By the way, dare I say, I don't know if I can even, coaching edge Dallas Cowboys? I can't go that far.
Don't rule out Schottenheimer, coach of the year.
Oh, man.
Don't rule that out.
You're on crazy pills.
No, come on. They can do this.
I looked at exactas here in Las Vegas earlier today. Dallas over Houston and vice versa, 750-1. I would rather play the exacta like Indiana Jet did yesterday where they met and he got like 520-1 just to meet. I'd rather have that. But
yeah. Okay. Schottenheimer's 35 at DraftKings.
Okay. Here's the game. Paul, you are the biggest thing to ever come out of St. Cloud, Minnesota. We all know that.
Yeah.
So you're a former Vikings fan. Your heart was ripped out when they lost the 99 title game. Gary Anderson, I remember where I was when he missed the kick. Been a really bad year for this team. How are they favored against Washington?
I'm with you.
I know it's the Commanders, and you're like, well, Mitch, the Commanders kind of stink, but I know that Brian Flores and the defense looked great last week. The Vikings offense?
Well, one team's fighting, the other team isn't. One team's showing guts and good performances, losing in overtime the last two games. Hope to have Daniels back, and the other team is demoralized, and the season's been a disaster, and they give up. Because the quarterback plays so bad and Jefferson can't get the ball.
There you go. The offense is shattered.
Yeah.
Now, when McCarthy, he's been in 2 games this year where he's had a couple of weeks or more than 1 week to prepare. It has done him well. They won both those games. And in the other games where it was like a week or less than a week to get ready, that's when he's been terrible. Mm-hmm. But I can't get there with Minnesota. This game should be a pick'em at best, I would say. And I would not be surprised if Washington was like a 1-point favorite.
Not to mention how well they're playing. Or excuse me, they've done a better job defensively since Quinn took over DC as well.
Yeah,
with the play calling duties.
I'm also coming around. Man, I think the Packers take it on to the Bears this weekend.
They're going to cover a big number finally.
Yeah, I love Green Bay on teasers this week.
Why?
Because that performance, and we saw it when Ben Johnson took his shirt off, they put so much into that game. Now, he was doing that as kind of a gimmick because of that Wiener Circle said that we're going to give out free hot dogs.
Courtney Cronin taking a lot of heat. She put ketchup on the hot dog. Can't do that in Chicago. Drag it through the garden, but you cannot put ketchup on a hot dog, Courtney.
I would do it. I would do it right in front of the locals. And I'd let the ketchup drip right off and be like, so tasty.
No, you don't do that in Chicago.
What they put into that game against Philadelphia, and now they got to match it up and match that level of play and intensity again now on the road against Green Bay. Very difficult. Now, the wild card here could be I have too much faith in Jordan Love after that masterpiece he put on against Detroit.
Well,
can he follow that up?
Yeah, his time of year. Yeah.
Okay.
He could get on a run. Absolutely. But this is where this is not going to continue with all the turnovers.
No, I think it ends this week.
At some point, it's got to stay. You can't get 2-3 turnovers every single game.
I agree.
Right?
I agree.
Got our best special ever. Black Friday special, $60 through May 1st. Every best bet, every host, every guest. The betting splits, DK, Circa, and Bracco. AI prop tools, 24/7 video access. The Watch app. Everything we do through May 1st. Masters, NFL, Draft, Madness. All the betting guides. Black Friday special ends after Sunday. Don't miss out. vsin.com/subscribe. Get it now.
I'm kind of teasing about the ketchup. A good Chicago dog, like on a poppy seed bun or sesame, whatever it is.
Yes, so good.
With the peppers and everything. Oh, man, you can't top that.
Yep. Can't believe she didn't know it. Chicago. Works in Chicago. You can't do that.
It's one of my Portillo's would be nice right now, huh? We will hop in tonight's Hoops card coming up next. There's a fishy number on the betting board. You know what that means. And he became the 3rd rookie to pull off these numbers since 1978, playing again tonight.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
Big card tonight, NBA and college basketball. Paul, the CP3 news today. What happened? 3 a.m.? Hey, pal, you're done with the team. See you later. It's been real.
So unprofessional. What kind of a...
Well, it's the Clippers. They did it to Blake Griffin as well.
That's fair. He wanted to retire a Clipper. He had to deal with the Sterling mess. Close to going to the NBA Finals one year. Never happened for him professionally. They wake him up at 3 in the morning. That's it. We're cutting you. And he flies back to Los Angeles. No longer with the team.
Uh-huh.
Incredible news. They've lost 14 of 16. And you go back to their last game. Remember, they were number 3 defensively last year. You would drop 20 on them. That's how bad they are. So they're playing Miami last game. Miami hits 24 threes on them. They come out, and you know Lou lit them up at halftime. Guard the 3. Get out there. What are we doing? First possession. Bam hits a 3. Mitchell hits a 3. Powell hits a 3. Lou calls timeout. He benches all the starters. They give up 140 points.
Yep.
They are broken. There's the disconnect there. This is unacceptable what's going on. And then Chris Paul, you know who he is, but he's like veteran leadership. This is, come on, guys, let's. And they thought it was a negative influence. And then he wanted to meet with Lou, and Lou wouldn't meet with them. And then he get this news today. So maybe it's time for a new voice. I know we've got several tweets about how is this guy still coaching the team. They were supposed to be something this year in the West. They should have beat Denver last year in the first round. They're 5-16. Come on.
Okay, so in that game against Miami, I almost fell off my chair when I looked at the box score. The Miami Heat starters, the starting 5, they were 21 of 31 from downtown. They couldn't miss.
Yeah.
It was unbelievable what they did in that performance.
Yep.
Guys are making it rain from half court. Every player in the starting 5. Bam, I think, had, 4 or 5 threes in that game.
Yeah, he went off, yes.
So this is the fishy number tonight. The opener last night, I put 3 exclamation points. I'm like Seinfeld here. Clippers at the Hawks. Atlanta's 3?
Yeah.
It's still 3 at some books. Others have moved it to 3.5 or 4. How are they 3?
I don't get it. I'm with you, Elaine. I know. I got to take the Hawks. Team's in total disarray.
I like it so much, I'm scared to death of it, to be honest.
Yeah.
The Clippers, okay, you mentioned how bad it's been. So they won and covered against Charlotte on November 22nd. Since then, catching 9.5 against Cleveland, lost by 15. Catching 6.5 against the Lakers, they lost by 17. Laying 6.5 against Memphis, they lost by 5. Laying 8.5 against Dallas, they lost by 4. Catching 6.5 against Miami, they lost by 17. They have been not even close to covering these numbers, but I will point out,
it's a good game to live bet.
I think you might be right. Atlanta has been my biggest bugaboo in the NBA like 2 years running now.
Yeah.
That was also with Trae Young, though.
Yes, but everyone agrees they're better without him.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, that's so. I think I can trust him a little bit more in the spot without the guy.
That's fair. Yep.
I would say there was another fishy number last night, but this one moved, and I completely agree with the market. The Pistons opened up 3 at Milwaukee.
Our Pistons. 1 seed Pistons. Just, Giannis, just come out and say it. It's over. I want to be traded. It's enough already. It's a bad team. They did a horrible job putting talent around you. Just come out, do it. And if you're the San Antonio Spurs, step up right now. Give them all these picks. Giannis and Wemby on the same team would be glorious. That would be wild and great for the NBA. Make it happen, and the Bucks have to go with a total rebuild, as that was embarrassing what happened losing to Washington as a 10-point favorite the other night.
It really was. So that did come out about an hour or so ago. Giannis and his agent, they need to explore all options to make sure that, is Milwaukee the best spot for him, or should he ask for a trade? They're being way too nice about this because Milwaukee, the Bucks organization, they've bent over backwards to give Giannis and his family whatever he's wanted the entire time. This guts me as somebody from that state because he's on the Mount Rushmore in my lifetime of athletes to play for a Wisconsin sports, pro outfit. But here's the thing with Milwaukee. If you're going to trade him, you can get one of the biggest hauls we're talking about in league history, and there are plenty of teams who have the assets. Tip of the cap to John Metler, who's great on the NBA on X. He broke down 5 different teams that would make sense. I'll get to your Spurs in a second. How about Houston with the young talent? Jabari Smith, Reed Shepherd. I doubt they part with Amen Thompson or Sengun, but they also have a pick swap with the Nets in 2027. They got the Suns pick in 2027. They got a bunch of other first-round picks coming up in the next 5 years. I don't think Amen would be part of it, but if the Rockets would say Amen could be had, then the Bucks absolutely have to make that happen if they could. Here's what the Spurs have. They obviously have Harper. They have Castle.
Yeah.
They got a swap with the Hawks this year. They got the Hawks pick in 2027. They got a swap with the Celtics in 2028. They also have Devin Vassell if they wanted to part with him. So they have a ton of dudes and a lot of draft capital here as well.
That's impressive.
I don't think the Knicks make sense.
Yeah?
I really don't. Because then you're going to have
That'd be great for the league too, though.
But then you gut your team, and they're going to have no depth. I can't get there with it. And they don't have a ton of picks.
Number 1, I would step in if I'm Adam Silver. Number 2, OKC shouldn't do it anyways.
I would agree.
You have the 4th best start in NBA history. You're the defending champs. Don't touch anything. Even if you could just say, I'll give you all these picks. Yeah. That's one. I wouldn't mess with the chemistry and how good you are.
No, neither would I.
Don't do it.
And by the way, Atlanta is another team. I don't think Atlanta would trade Jalen Johnson. Guy's playing, I'm semi-joking, he's playing at an MVP level in recent games. Guy is incredible. But they have Richiche. They have, Porzingis. Would the Bucks want him? Would they want Trae Young? And don't forget that they also have that pick swap, or they had that pick from New Orleans.
That's huge, yes.
Yeah, no kidding.
Good call, yes.
So that the Hawks could actually be a player here.
Yeah.
But, again, I totally agree with Detroit taking money in this game.
Apologies yesterday to Caesars. Goal in the first 10 was staring me right in the face in the Washington game. I just had to scroll over. But Caesars and other sports books, how do you not have Nebhard props up tonight? Come on. Starting point guard for the Dallas Mavs, Andrew's brother. Incredible game the last 2 nights out. What he did historic. Mitch will run it down in a second. What he did against Denver. You got to have these guys props up right now. And this guy, to be a rookie coming in from Gonzaga and what he's doing, 2 things here. Kid has had it with D-Low. I think we all have.
Yep.
But a lot of DNP CDs there. and healthy scratches. And this kid going off a 12 for 14 performance, and how I could only look over tonight in this Miami-Dallas game. I mean, it's a perfect storm.
Right.
You finally got a guy to run your team. AD's back. They're scoring points, 2 impressive wins, a lot of points against the Lakers in the loss, and Miami's number 1 in pace. Got to go over 240 in this game.
So, the underdog has a number up on him, but I don't see a sports book right now on the screen. I don't even see an exchange out there where it's 8.5 basically, juiced a little bit over.
Ooh.
But we'll see if other books are going to follow suit. They're probably going to wait. I'm not joking. I've been refreshing this since last night, looking for his props, and they are slow to post, probably because they have no idea what to make the number. And if they make it too low, they're going to get destroyed immediately. Here's what he did in his last start. He joined Stephon Marbury and Michael Finley as the only rookies in NBA history with 25-plus points, 10-plus assists, and 0 turnovers in a single game. That goes back to 77-78. The first season turnovers were officially recorded. Jason Kidd, after the game, quote, "He knows who he is, and that's kind of refreshing."
Yeah.
And there was an awesome article on this kid that I read today. Basically, his decision-making is off the charts, and that's why Kidd he's falling in love with him right now.
Yeah.
No, nothing like
D'Lo.
The D'Lo stuff is just...
Absolutely.
He's a 14-year-old out there playing basketball.
Yes. Yeah. It's big time what this organization needed.
Right. Now, I'll give you this as well. There was an angle the last couple of years in college basketball. These teams in their next game off of a deep run in the Feast Week tournaments, you wanted to fade them early, and I think for the full game as well, but basically it was a first half bet. Here are the teams that you want to fade tonight, and it was, Luke, I don't remember what the number was, but it was money.
Yep.
Yeah, he thinks it was like 12-1-1 when we picked up on it last year. Vanderbilt killed St. Mary's in the battle for Atlantis. They're laying about 11 tonight against SMU. SMU was +6 in the first half. Illinois State beat Furman in one of the ESPN events that they had. Illinois State takes on Eastern Kentucky, and Illinois State has taken money. They're up to 15.5. I have not seen a first half number in that game. Colorado beat Washington in a holiday classic. Washington plays UCLA. I laid UCLA -0.5 point in the first half in that game. TCU beat Wisconsin in the Rady Children's Invitational. Wisconsin plays Northwestern tonight. I took 6 in the first half with Northwestern. And this is kind of a hold your nose special, but BYU beat Dayton in the Terry Chocolate ESPN event invitational. BYU gets Cal Baptist. They're laying a huge number. I took 11 with Cal Baptist in the first half tonight. So a system play.
Good.
Last couple of years in college hoops.
I had a couple people reach out too and said, you got to take SMU. SMU +12, now down to 10.5.
Okay.
That they are playing Vandy. Yes.
And Eastern Kentucky at DK is 8.5 in the first half. If you want to grab that number. I looked around today. I couldn't find it. But again, that's an extra game here at a bunch of books here in town. So if they do post, it's probably like right now since the show started or maybe a little bit before tip-off as well.
Good job.
Yeah. But I'm excited about tonight's basketball card for sure. Pauly's going to recap a lot of last night's action and win some, lose some coming up. This is Follow the Money, live in downtown Las Vegas from the Circa Resort and Casino here on VSiN.
Win Some, Lose Some is sponsored by the Sharp Plays.
Were you a winner last night? Wow, winning. Or was it a rough one?
Well, they can't all be winners, can they?
Loser! You're a loser! Pauly Howard recaps the night in sports betting in Win Some, Lose Some.
Syracuse 3-1 on the money line, took out Tennessee. North Carolina +250, beat Kentucky. A&M pick up to 3.5. Bradley under 151.5 down to 148. 64-60. Good. Georgia, Florida State over. 169 up to 177. 107.73. Bill and Mary +220 on the money line. And the Thunder from 8.5 up to 11. They won by 12. Fourth best start in history, 21-1. Also win some, the NFL. Every move they make, every Thanksgiving, primetime games, incredible. The records that they set. Packers, Lions, 47 million watched. most watched early Thanksgiving game. As predicted, Chiefs-Cowboys, most watched regular season game ever. 57 million, peaked at 61 million. Bengals-Ravens, 28 million, most watched Thanksgiving night game ever. See what happens Christmas on Netflix. Probably in store for bigger ratings.
We had the conversation with that Chiefs-Cowboys game, will it reach 50?
Yeah.
And it touched 60 at its peak.
Yeah.
I mean, the good game that it turned out to be obviously helped.
Machine. They're a machine right now. Subscribe, be part of the team, vsin.com. Our radio and podcast friends. You always want to see these tweets and videos at Pauly Does Vegas on Instagram. Send them in. We'll put you on. Thanks to everybody who's sending these in. $26,000 hit at Four Queens jackpot. You ever played this before? They have this at several spots in town. The Palms has it, obviously downtown here. Some places on the Strip have it. If the dealer has a 16, you get to spin the wheel if you play the bonus. If you spin the wheel and it lands on your spot, you get to spin again. And then you can hit the jackpot progressive, like when you see the double diamond there. Yeah. And he won $26,000 because he got the double diamond, but he was betting $1. I saw it hit for $100,000 at the Palms on the $5 side bet. Guy hit it. It's incredible. It was the same day that the lady who was at McDonald's went to Wheel of Fortune and hit for $1.2 million. Interesting game.
I've never even seen it.
Yeah.
I don't know. Those side bets, to me, I've never... Frank B is the guy to talk to about that. Yeah. Which ones make sense, which ones don't.
Yep. Hard Rock. Been some big hits lately. How about a Royale with cheese for $100,000? Look at this. Got dealt 2. Playing deuces. Dealt 2.
Oh, and he got it. Oh,
and he got it.
Playing deuces, and he gets it naturally.
Yes. Royal flush with no deuce. $100,000. There it is. Zooming on that sucker. Oh, that's incredible. What a hit. Good for you, man. Lose some. Bill and Mary Duquesne over. 163 up to 171. No good. And the Timberwolves from 9 up to 12.5. They went to overtime and won by 7. Couple lose some videos. Peekaboo. Guy checked his front door, his video cam. Well, what? Hey, I ordered food. Looks like McDonald's. What happened? It's not there. Well, we delivered it, sir. Well, I never got it. Well, here comes the bear. They dropped it off. He walks in. Coast is clear. Checks. Grabs it. All right, I got my lunch. I'm good. And on about his way. And sneaks out the side door.
How long do you think it takes a bear to devour a bag full of McDonald's food?
That's 5 seconds probably. Put that thing down.
Put Chestnut to shame.
That's right. We got a good one tomorrow. There was a bear living in a California home crawl space. 500 pounds. Oh. You got to see this one tomorrow. We'll show. That's excellent. And husband's crazy pizza order for his pregnant wife. Look at this thing. You always talk about like a CVS receipt.
Yeah.
How long this is. He goes, listen, she's pregnant. I don't want to fight with her. This is what she wants. This is what she's craving. I apologize in advance, but that's your big boy there. Look at that thing. Half chicken, half mushrooms, half onions, half olives, light sauce, jalapenos, banana peppers, extra cheese, triple pepperoni. I mean, look how long. Customer request. It's like it doesn't end. Oh, my God.
Does it sound good to you, though?
No.
Get the olives off.
Yeah, why? Who thinks of putting all this stuff on it? I know.
Well, I'm a pregnant woman. I showed my wife this, and she's like, she's like, you have no idea what pregnant women request.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. Do we have scroll down to damage. Customer request. Bro, yes, I know this looks insane, and you're probably like, who is this dude? I'm the dude who has a very pregnant wife. I'm done questioning what she wants. I'm scared of her. And honestly, you should be able...
You should be too.
You should be too. I promise this is the order. Thank you, and Godspeed. I'm scared of her. That's great. Sharp place before the line moves. We love Jeff and the crew. Been with us since day one, since 2011. Kicking ass and taking names. Documented results, public logs, transparent receipts. Great sources like Brett McMurphy. Active across all sports. AI picks up 50 units. Look for the first touchdown props tomorrow before the game. Trusted by pros, watched by the book, sharpplays.com. Last night, Miami was 10-1 to make the playoff. Right now, they're 5-1 at DraftKings.
You take them?
Yep. And Nick Saban on Miami. This is the most dangerous team if they make the playoff. Skill position players, skill level, how good the defense is. Their talent is so good. And they also had 6 guys out when they lost. 6 starters were out when they lost to SMU.
That's right.
That's Saban, baby. All about the U. I think they're going to, BYU loses, they're going to flip them because they'll be side by side.
Side by side. They brought that up for a reason, I think, right?
He was asked about it numerous times, and you're right. He brought it up. He wasn't, It's, quote, this is a chair. It's easier to use the head-to-head as a data point if the teams are back-to-back in the rankings.
I would happily cash a plus 550 or 6-1 bet. That will be announced on Sunday, by the way. And we're going to be on the air for the Pro Football Tailgate Show all the way up until that show starts at 9 o'clock Pacific time on Sunday. So a lot of white knuckle time for many people involved. I was so mad I remember where I was. In 2014, my body was literally shaking when they dropped TCU to number 6 after they won 55-3. I was so mad. I knew it was going to happen, and I was so mad still.
Then they beat Ole Miss by 60 in the bowl game.
Yeah.
Yep. Well, Brad Powers also has been saying this for weeks. He was taking 10, 11-1 on the no.
Brad's going to be on the show tomorrow.
Yep. I'm looking forward to it. The no is now plus 380 on the Irish.
Here's the thing. Brad admits that he's a lifelong Notre Dame fan. So I wonder how much of that actually plays into it. We have to have that conversation with him. And I know that he's been going back and forth. Joey Knish, some others, basically trying to rub it in his face, like, told you so, you're going to be wrong on this one. And Powers keeps coming back and just tweeting back, bookmarked, as if to say, well, you know what that's saying, obviously, but it's going to be like, this is going to be, it's not going to end well for anybody who's questioning me on this. Because he can go scoreboard all day long if this happens, and he's going to be coming out smelling like a rose with some pretty big plus numbers there in Miami to make.
No, I like what you said earlier. Just all hell will break loose on Sunday. It's just, it can't be more obvious. And you're 10, I'm 11. We played, I beat you. We have the same record. I have more top 10 wins, strength of schedule equal, strength of record, and out of the 4 common opponents, I beat 3 of them more than you did by a larger margin. What are we doing? This is all time bad. If they just say, well, we think they're the better team.
And as I've been trying to say since last week, at least anyway, the potential long-term damage the committee could do to this sport by putting Notre Dame in. Short-term, I get it. They're the biggest brand name that they have going. But long-term, clearly Miami would be so pissed off, they would say, we're never going to play anybody again. You've already had Sark come out and say that. We played the Dan Mullen audio yesterday, so you need to start all of this over from scratch. I firmly believe that a lot of other teams would say, we're not playing these tough non-conference games. It does us no good. And then eventually this is going to, by the way, force Notre Dame to join a conference, I would think. Mm-hmm. Because what if the Miamis of the world say, well, what's the point? We're not going to play you.
There's a better way, too, to settle this with these silly tiebreakers and 5-way ties as well. What you put rules in place and common sense also with that, too, that Miami isn't even in the ACC title game. All
right, so you showed that jackpot. Got a message here from our buddy Chris. The Golden Nugget here, downtown Vegas. They have the spin the wheel bonus on all their table carnival games now. Really? Instead of normal progressives. 3-card poker, high card flush, ultimate Texas Hold'em, Mississippi Stud, all of them. Right across the street. Takes
interesting.
15 seconds to get over there.
Yeah.
You like to play that stuff, though. I have a buddy who comes to town.
It's hard to find. I mean, if it's unique, I like 3-card poker. That's fun. But I've never heard of 3-card poker where you could spin. That game I came across walking into the pit where you see, you get to spin the wheel if the dealer's got a 16, yes?
I have a buddy who comes to town, and he, let's just say he plays relatively large in the high limit here at Circa and other casinos. He loves to sit down at the 3-card poker and a lot of that other stuff where you can play the side bets, and he'll max out the side bets. Because if you just hit one of them, he's going to have a great weekend.
I really like Kevin West. He's a fun guy.
He's awesome.
He's a wild man.
He's great.
Sells duct tape, does very well. Who knew?
The great Sal Palantonio on the program coming up next. His level of concern in Philadelphia, and he is saying it's the most wide open race we've had in 15 years. Next here on VSiN.